everyone, hope you're all doing so well and having an amazing week. And welcome to this little review of the Velasquez oil painting medium by Rublev. If you are new to my channel, I would be so grateful if you were to subscribe, and also thank you so much for wonderful comments on my live stream. I know it was a bit of a disaster at first, but we got there in the end. This oil painting medium comes in tube and tin form, and I do highly recommend that if you are just testing this out that you get the tube. Also, I personally detest the tins. I know someone is going to dislike this video because I stated that, because whenever I state an actual opinion, especially about a product, especially by a sort of really amazing brand like Rublev, I think on the Oleo gel I mentioned that I found tins, sort of mediums in tins, really annoying, and I think somebody disliked my video. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure that was the reason. Anyway, I'm afraid to say that the problem with tins, at least in my experience, is because you have to kind of dig off the lid and then dig around in the medium. For me, it's just so much of a hassle because I paint so often. So I highly recommend waiting until this is back in stock, because it's very often sold out in the tube form, and getting the tube to start with. So Velasquez started his early life. He came from a modest background. And as he was studying art, he started to paint realistic Spanish home life scenes, women cooking in the kitchen, for example. And at that particular time, it was revolutionary. It was not the norm as a subject matter. Nowadays, we just sort of take these types of scenes for granted. And so he began to gather a reputation as being a great artist. Then he managed to make his way into the Spanish court. He became court painter, and the rest is history. He became enormously successful. His latest style of painting was distinctive brushstrokes, a sort of loose brushwork style. Check out the brushwork of this close-up of Pope Innocent X. This has been considered by many as the greatest painting of all time. And here is the full painting. And so this is where this painting medium comes in. Rublev have crafted this oil painting medium for the artist who wants to create distinctive brushstrokes, long brushstrokes, and basically to have a thicker paint look, so an impasto look. Now, I think this is an amazing medium if that is the type of look you want to go for. If you feel like your paint, when you're painting, it lacks body and you want to create that bodied look to your art, then this is definitely a medium you would want to check out. It is a combination of bodied linseed oil and calcite, and I think it's really amazing when you add a small amount. Just be aware that if you add too much of this, it actually makes your paint extremely gloopy because it is a thick medium. So they do actually recommend that if this happens, that you thin your paint out, probably with linseed oil or some other medium. I personally think that's a bit of a waste of time though, because the whole point of this medium is to make it thicker. So if you make it thicker and then thin it, it just sort of defeats the purpose. So I say what you should do is just add a small amount, use it really sparingly. I also find this medium really useful if you, for example, have oil paint that is a bit too thin. Like say, for example, your oil paint has too much oil in it and you find it's just so floppy all around the canvas and you really want it to be stiffer. You can actually add just a little bit of this and it really kind of bulks up the paint. So now I'm going to shift to my piece of paper where I show you what this medium looks like. And next week I'm hoping to do a lot of oil painting time lapses and like get back into showing you my art videos. I've been recording a ton, so I do hope you will enjoy that. So here we go. Here is a tube of Velasquez medium, and as you can see, I've just pointed to it on the paper. It looks like a sort of putty consistency, and that's kind of what it feels like. It's like sort of putty-ish, and so all I'm doing is just adding a little bit each time when I'm dipping my brush into the paint, just as you would use a normal medium, like you would use a normal gel medium, for example. It's exactly the same concept, just adding a little bit at the time and making sure that the ratio is more paint on my brush and just a little bit of medium, the way that you would use any other kind of gel medium, although the consistency is certainly not a gel. Definitely has that sort of putty-ish, almost clay type feel. Very unusual, but perfectly fine to work into the paint, as you can see. And this is just a really, really rough, like mega rough little apple. I mean, it doesn't even look like an apple at the end. I just want to show you what the brush strokes basically look like. It's incredibly effective for creating that strong brush mark. So when you are really, if you are really frustrated, if you're painting and your brush strokes just disappear because the painting kind of flattens out, sorry, the paint just flattens out, then this medium really defines the brush marks. So it's certainly a great medium in that regard. And it does add this kind of nice luminosity as well. And that must be the bodied linseed oil in it. So it's got this nice sheen as well. So you've got quite a luminous look to your painting, but also with the brush strokes kind of standing out. So it is certainly a medium that is very, very well named, and I think it is a very successful medium. It does what it says. So here we go, close up, you can see the brush marks, you can see what type of effect it can create. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on this medium, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.